Oh boy, got some fun with today, guys and gals, whoever's up there watching. I'd like to DIY things, I like to restore, I like to build, I like to do all kinds of mess. And today we found this bad boy, 20 bucks, nothing wrong with it, other than it's ugly. That's okay, I don't mind ugly. 20 bucks, solid wood inboard or footboard, headboard, metal frames. Let me show you. Solid metal frames that they used to build them. The slat rails or the slat holes or the slat slots or whatever they want to call them, they're all solid, all four of them. Nothing wrong with any of them. All the little pegs are in place. The wood is in fairly good condition. Obviously it's ugly. It's been stained a couple of times. I was able to take a razor blade and actually scrape some of that stain off, but it's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sand it. So this is step one. Like I said, I paid 20 bucks for it. I love DIY and I love restoring things. I'm going to pull the frame rails back off. I'm going to have the headboard and the footboard. I'm going to sand them down, primer them, and then paint them white. And I'm going to sand down those rails, primer them, paint them black. The ends I might have to kind of leave naked, so they'll go into slots again. But it's okay, we'll cross that bridge. My daughter is turning a little over 2.5, so it's about time to start putting her into a big girl bed. So we found this, and man, you can't go buy a bed of this quality for 20 bucks these days. Now granted, I'm probably gonna have 100 bucks in material, but still, even $120 totally invested, oh well, can't put a price on happiness. I just enjoy doing the work. So just hang on, we'll go for a spin and start sanding this stuff, and then we will paint it and see what it looks like when I'm done. Went ahead and started sanding it, and it took me longer to get the sander out and set up, and I actually had to use a sanding disc on it. It's just a random orbital sander. It's got a 220 grit, so it's very fine, but it's so smooth. Like I said, to get it looking like this, it took longer to get the sander out. Now obviously I gotta still do everything else, and to come in here, get right up on the edges and get the cuts, you know, around circles and the balls and between the spindles. That's gonna have to be hand sanded, but since these are flat, I can go across the tops like that. But I'm gonna have to kind of rough up in here on the insides. And like I said, it's just so smooth, man. It's nice. This is gonna be pretty. I don't know what kind of wood it is. It looks like it's had some damage over the years. I mean, this is used and abused. It's been stained, I don't know how many times. You can see it in all the little grooves, even through here. I can't get that out, but it's okay. I'm gonna primer it first. Probably put 2 coats of primer, maybe 1 coat, we'll see. And then 2 coats of paint, and we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna finish sanding it, and we're gonna see what it looks like. So just kind of hang out and we'll finish this project together. I think it's gonna be pretty when I'm done with it. I want to give you guys a quick update on the sanding. It's going pretty well. As you see, it's a world of a difference from before. All the flaking and all the stain coming off. The spindles are heavily saturated with stain. Even the end posts, it's like they just went balls to the walls on the roundness of it, but on the flats, either they didn't, or somehow it just got wore off as it's a lot lighter. That was like the before for the headboard. I'm about to work on that next. And here's after of a quick sand from the spindles, the bottom, all the rounds, the flats. Still not perfect, but it's good enough to where I can go ahead and finish the footboard and then start primering it. So let me get this one out of the way, and I'll start with the footboard. The sun is going down, so my lighting is kind of going away, but this is what it looks like after a quick sanding. Obviously where the stain was real heavy, where the wood grain is, kind of like around the circles and the edges of the spindles, it's going to be hard to get off, but I think I've done a fair enough job to get it off where I need. Now I can primer it. I went ahead and started primering the rails. I just went with a flat matte gray, because like I said, the actual bed, the headboard and footboard is going to be white. I could have took a little bit of time and pulled out that bend there, but I'm not worried about it. I can always take a mallet, rubber mallet, and do it. But like I said, the headboard and footboard is going to be white, bright white. So I'm going to paint these black. Not bad. They were covered in rust. So I gave them a quick sand. You can see where it took off some of the paint over the ridges. That's fine with me, don't matter. Like I said, I primered it. I'm going to flip them over shortly and primer the other side, and then put everything back up. And then probably over the weekend or maybe even next week, I'll go ahead and buy paint and then paint it, and then I'll put this whole video together from beginning to end. It's getting dark, so the camera's on 4K setting and it's making the white look brighter than what it really is. It is called an ultra white paint, but it's not a glow in the dark paint like this little video is making. As you can see, the sun is going down, so there you go. That looks a little more realistic, and then it's starting to change again. Ultra white paint. That is 2 coats of it. No, I am not done. I'm going to flip it over and do the other half or side. Not too bad. Spindles are pretty fun. I did here. You can see there's a staple. If I can zoom in on it. There you go. You can see it right there. Staple there. Staple there. On each one, there's a staple on the bottom there, and the tops where that was assembled, and that's what holds the spindles in. You can actually, before I started painting, you could take these and wiggle them just a little bit. I didn't bother them a whole lot. I did go and tap in the staples a little bit because some of them are sticking up, so I did tap them back in. I have no idea how old this bed was. Paid 20 bucks for it. I'm just playing around with it, having a good time. So here is the footboard, one side of it, and let me show you the rest of it. Here is the headboard after it was sanded. Most of it I was able to do with the sander, electric sander, but as you can see, the darker spots is where the end grains are. Those had to be done by hand because they're rounded. That's okay, they were not that bad really, but it got the bulk of it off. They're nice and smooth. I don't mind that. That's nice and smooth. I don't feel any stain particles breaking off and sticking into my finger like I did before. Also, we got these, the 2 rails. They're painted twice with primer and twice with what they call, the color is Canyon Black. I tried to find like a flat black or just general matte black, but all they had was satin, a really glossy one. I didn't want that, but they had the Canyon Black, which to me looks kind of matte black. There you go. That's a nice close-up of it. After I was done painting it, I thought about it. Since the bed's white and most of her crap in the room is white, I probably should have painted the rails white. But me being a guy, so yeah, black works. So anyway, if I don't like it, I'll take them back off and I'll scuff them down again, and then I'll paint them white. All right, stay tuned for the rest of it. Here we are, ladies and gents, the end of the bed project for the most part. Not bad for $20, huh? I had the white paint already. I did go buy a can of primer and paint for the rails, so got that invested. And then I bought that piece of wood for the slats. But everything else, not bad. Paid 20 bucks for the whole bed. Well, bed frame, bed assembly, whatever you want to call it. Not bad. My daughter's gonna be stoked. Hell yeah, have a good one.